Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Looking for music that lifts your spirit and fills your heart? Experience the powerful sound of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. Now streaming on all your favorite music platforms. Find the Tabernacle Choir on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Let the music of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square inspire you today and every day. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the go, enjoy the beauty of their world-renowned sound anytime. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square, streaming now.
Be honest. These guys have the best job on the planet.
You come to work in a frickin' bathrobe?
So if you're out there working hard, you should also expect your radio hosts to put in an honest day's work. So of course, Jake and Ben are live at 5 with the biggest headlines and the best analysis in Utah. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Oh, Jake and Ben. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is time for Live at 5 here in Jake and Ben. It's brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan today, your local trusted financial fiduciary, 855-TRAJAN-1, or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. We should talk about that Bob Myers thing later.
Yeah.
We like to talk about the biggest story of the day. Here at Live at 5. And that is not the biggest story of the day, but that is funny. Man, how do I become a consultant?
Yeah, that's a good biz.
That is, whatever you're consulting, that's got to be the best job ever, right?
Yeah, because you can kind of just say whatever and be like, I consulted you. That was the consultation.
And then if it goes wrong, you really don't have any sort of like, be like, I'm just a consultant.
You can't fire me.
Yeah,
I'm a consultant.
You're the one making the decision.
I just consulted you on that.
Yeah, right.
And then if it works out, you can say, well, there's only one person you can hire.
It's all me.
Yeah.
Like all these consulting firms in college football and basketball for these hires, when a bozo coach gets hired, does anybody ever complain about the consulting firm?
No. Anonymous.
Nobody.
Yeah, it's great.
But that athletic director gets barbecued. We got to figure out a way to get a consulting business off the ground.
Okay.
What can we consult on?
Podcasting, radio, coaching hires, you name it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You just bought a car recently? Yeah. Consult you how to buy a car? Sure. Raise kids? It doesn't matter. These consultant companies are awful.
They're not qualified.
They don't know what they're doing. We can say whatever.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, investments. Here's your portfolio. Trust Trajan.
The biggest Trajan, Trajan Wealth.
Don't trust us.
No. Ben, we've been talking a lot about the Knicks and the Cavs, and we can talk about that. But the big story, tipping off in, don't do math on the air, an
80
hour.
Minutes.
Yeah, let's say that. But we are live, so I like to, be pretty close.
Yeah.
At 6:30 on NBC, it's Spurs and Thunder, game number 2. It also streams on Peacock.
How ready are you to assume that Wemby is going to have another 41.24 rebound outing?
I'm not.
Yeah, I mean
at all. No, I think Oklahoma City makes an adjustment. They have to.
Well, they have to, yeah.
I don't think we'll see the Alex Caruso guarding Wemby as much. I mean, I would imagine they may wrong foot by throwing some of that in there, but they've got to find something else. I got to think that Hartenstein has a bigger role.
I think so, too. I can't imagine they just don't play him at all. If you abandon what got you there this quickly,
yeah,
that's a real bad sign. I just, the more I'm watching things, talking about the draft, I think you got to be yourself. I think you have to trust what won you your title last year.
Make them adapt to you.
Recognize where maybe you have some flaws, but then, just do what you do. Don't try and do what San Antonio does. San Antonio's been doing this with Wemby for 3 years now. You're going to adjust from game 1 to game 2 to playing better, being better at it than they are? No. But they're going to have to adjust to what you do. And I've never seen, at least over the last few years, Shea play this poorly. as he did in Game 1. Diagnose, was that because of Victor Wembanyama being on the court, or is that because Shea had a bad game because stars have bad games? Believe it or not, go back and look at Michael Jordan's game logs in the finals, in the playoffs. They weren't all buttes. Not every one of them was perfect. Sometimes you get an ugly game, and Shea had an ugly game after a week off of basketball, after sweeping the Lakers in the second round of the playoffs, and found a much tougher battle, and didn't look very good in the first game. But I suspect they're going to look a lot sharper in the second game. And remember, 72 hours ago, everyone just assumed this was the Thunder's championship to lose. I'm not trying to overreact to one double overtime loss.
I think it's still theirs to lose, honestly. What the Spurs did to Shea is no secret. You can, excuse me, you can game plan to take anybody out of the game. Mm-hmm. Anybody, the great Michael Jordan included. You can game plan. You can blitz them. You can run doubles at them. You know, I just another quick plug for our guy, Coach Tim McComb. He really did a great job breaking down after Game 1 exactly what the Spurs were doing, bracketing Shea and all of that. The whole you can make life really difficult for him, but at what sacrifice? And that's why you don't just triple team Michael Jordan on every play, is because then they get a dunk. Or Scottie Pippen makes you pay, or Ron Harper, or whatever you want to say. Oklahoma City needs to make the Spurs pay, and they did that a little bit with Alex Caruso, the guy who does look like a Pro Bowler, and he had a big night. But the key to it all, Ben, and I think you've said something similar about this, but the key to it all is Chet. Is Oklahoma City's second best player. If they're going to take away Shea, well, the Thunder's second best player needs to make them pay.
Yeah.
If they're going to leave guys open, well, then the other players have to make San Antonio adjust, and Chet just can't disappear. So I would guess that they'll figure out a way to get him going. Jalen, brother of Cody Williams, I still think is a little hobbled. I don't know if he's the candidate to carry a bunch of offensive load, but you have to make San Antonio pay for blitz and Shea like that.
Can you ask any more of J-Dub, brother of Cody, as you like to call him, than 26 points and 7 rebounds?
Probably not.
Maybe not coming off of an injury. Maybe not.
But maybe he doesn't have to go hold up Wemby for half the game either. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And the fact that Wemby was the one with gas left in the tank in the second overtime is inexcusable. I mean, we talked about, we used the comparison of my buddy Igor on the show alone. You've got to make him use up all his energy during the game.
Make him build what do they call it? A structure. Make him build a survival zone. Can I think of the word? You've got to make Wemby build something, fight for something.
Yeah.
And when you don't put Hartenstein out there, and you just let him run roughshod over these young people,
over these little
guys,
players, yeah,
that's not a big deal. And again, we focus so much on loud things. Like, you got to have 3-point shooting out there to combat Wemby because that pulls him out of the paint and then he's not blocking shots. It's like, okay, that is part of it. No question about it. He also grabbed 24 rebounds.
Yeah.
Don't let him grab 24 rebounds. Well, how do you do that? Put your best rebounder out there against him.
Play your best rebounder.
Play your best rebounder. Rebounds are turnovers.
Oh, man, you make a great point about rebounds, because how many big rebounds did Wemby get where Oklahoma City basically had another opportunity and Wemby grabbed the rebound?
Yeah.
And they were able to
9 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, right.
They're bone crushing, soul crushing. It absolutely grinds you down when you have to play defense for 40 seconds. Hey, why did the Thunder lose their last playoff series? The last playoff series they lost was to the Dallas Mavericks because they got out-rebounded every single game.
Yeah.
Every single game. And their solution was to go get Hartenstein. And they won the championship right after. And then they run into some adversity with Wemby, and they say, let's pull our rebounder off the floor. It's this weird... Dagnall's a great coach, but clearly he has a little bit of this desire of like, I want to play small and I want to spread it out.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, I do think we're overthinking that part of it
I totally
way
agree.
too much. We're like, well, Wemby's better at it than Hartenstein is. We can't play Hartenstein. Wrong. You just have to make Wemby a little less good at it. You have to make him a little less good at the things he does well. And that honestly might be my adjustment in this. Yeah, I can't let him get 24 rebounds. He might get 40. He honestly might. But if he gets 40 and 12 as opposed to 40 and 24, that might be 12 more possessions in our favor. Again, if you want to break it down, like you can go possession by possession and Wemby's defensive ranking and blowing up this action and blowing up this action. He does this better than anyone else. Well, you don't need to get that analytical with it. He had 24 rebounds. Make him get 12, and the math works in your favor. Because it went to double overtime, meaning it was tied twice at the end of the game. If you have 2 more rebounds, 8 more rebounds, 12 more rebounds, you win the game. Mm-hmm. Now, you've got to actually get them, but you're not going to get them with Caruso. You're not going to get them with J-Dub.
Nope.
You might get them with Hartenstein.
How good a rebounder is Chet? I'm embarrassed. I don't know off the top of my head.
No, I don't know what he averages either.
He averaged.
Let's see. Chet averaged this season 8.9. Fine. Not great. For a guy who's 7'1",
for a guy that big,
bad.
that sucks.
Yeah, pretty lousy.
So
yeah, totally
you're not gonna rely on him to get you rebounds.
No. If he's gonna be your only big on the court, you're gonna be in trouble.
Big trouble. Mm-hmm. I'm coming along with you. I think you make a terrific point about the rebounding. And when Wemby is going up for a rebound against Hartenstein's leaning on him.
Yep.
Makes it way harder.
Yep. Holmgren plays quickly 29 minutes a game, averages, what did we just say, 9 rebounds a game. Hartenstein plays 24 minutes a game and averages 9.5 rebounds a game. Mm-hmm. So he plays 5 minutes fewer, averages a half rebound more. Yeah, you got to. I'm not arguing that it's a math problem. Wemby creates a math problem. I just think sometimes we overthink how you solve it. And I wonder if Daigneault overthought how to solve it.
Rebounding. They're 27th in offensive rebounding. The other thing is they're not getting the steals that they usually got. We talked, you and I had a bit of a conflict on how important the steal thing is. And I got to imagine if you depend on steals to be effective defensively, that might leave you in the playoffs.
Well, that's how they make up for some of their rebounding issues. Is they get steals.
Turn you over.
Well, okay.
But that's harder to do in the playoffs. Well, that's my point.
Okay, do you have the box score from the last game pulled up in front of you?
No, give me 2 seconds.
I'll just read it to you. The Spurs grabbed 61 rebounds. 61. The Thunder grabbed 40. 21 possessions.
You're going to lose that game every time. You're totally right.
You can't get 20 steals to make up for it.
Nope, you sure can't.
Again, if you want to boil it down to a boring way to look at it, the math equation, you can't make up 20 possessions in steals.
Nope.
Simply put. So you've got to figure out a way to close that gap.
15 offensive rebounds.
And that's where your focus really has to be. That's where your discipline really has to come in. Rebounding, in large part, is a discipline skill. Because we have seen guys who are not very tall, certainly not as tall as Wemby, be A++ rebounders. Oscar Tshiebwe with the Jazz, Charles Barkley, Dennis Rodman. Those guys had great rebounding discipline, positioning, effort, etc.
Paul Millsap wasn't that tall.
Paul Millsap, little guy, great rebounder. You have to be disciplined on the boards. You can't leak out. You can't start looking around. You can't lose control of your man. You've got to stay connected. It stinks. Rebounding's not fun. It's physical. It hurts. There's no guarantee you get a stat out of it. It's the stat that people care about the least, and it's probably the most important because it creates a possession for your team. So let's watch that. 21 rebound difference tonight. Let's see if OKC can close that gap, and if they can close it, can they win?
By the way, the Knicks out-rebounded the Cavs last night, 47-38.
Mm-hmm. It really matters.
Yeah, makes a difference.
Yeah. But again, it's so easy to get lost in the math of,
Oh, David had my head spinning yesterday when he was talking about what you can and can't play against Wemby.
A third of a percentage point, on this many actions over time. Absolutely. It's a math problem. It's 100% correct. But the easiest way to solve that is shrink the rebounding difference by 5, by 10. Then the math is in your favor.
Man, I wonder what your winning percentage is if you're out-rebounded by 20. That'd be an interesting thing.
What are the odds you get it to overtime, much less double overtime?
If you get out-rebounded by 20, I bet you lose 95% of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bad rebounding teams, it's not the most obvious, answer that this is going to be a good team because teams that shoot well traditionally are worse rebounding teams because there's fewer offensive rebounds to be had.
Yeah, sure.
That math does hold up. But in these situations, yeah, especially in the playoffs, any team winning a playoff game when they get out-rebounded by 20,
No.
I can't imagine.
No, absolutely not. And percentages go down in the playoffs. You make fewer shots in the playoffs. There's more opportunity for rebounding. No, I think you make a terrific point. You cut that down to being out-rebounded by 10, they win probably.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking that it goes to double overtime. So I'm excited to watch this. And then again, along those lines, we have a little bit of it was the last thing I saw, so that must be how it's going to be forever. And everyone does it. We do it in politics. We do it in sports. We do it in all walks of life. Your kid does this well or does this poorly. You think that's what they're stuck doing. Wemby had 40 and 20 in the first game. It was awesome. How many 40-20 games does he have in his career?
Well, if they play him the same way, he's going to have another one.
Yeah, sure. So make an adjustment.
Right.
You don't throw everything out you've already done, but you tinker here, you tinker there, and that's generally where coaches are good. Good coaches do that. Bad coaches don't. I think Mark Daigneault's a good coach. He's made adjustments along the way in his career to get them a title already, and I do think they're probably headed back to San Antonio tied here. It's hard to win 2 in a row on the road. It's hard to win 2 in a row against a really good team, and Oklahoma City remains a really good team. So Shea, shoot better. Isaiah, grab some boards. Wemby, don't have a perfect 41 and 24 outing, and things will probably be fine.
If we see Caruso get shouldered into the 50th row again all night long, I might have to take back all the nice things I've said about Mark Daigneault, just like I had to take back all the nice things I've ever said about Kenny.
Correct. If Wemby gets 15 dunks tonight because he's being guarded by somebody 6'6" or smaller, we've got a problem with the coach.
And Chet can't help.
We've got a coaching problem.
Man, I can't believe one of us took Chet Holmgren over Alonzo Mourning. That was really a wild pick.
What was our draft?
Week's We Don't Lie, last week, What You Got Wednesday. Overall number 2 overall picks.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Clown me for taking Alonzo Mourning. You took Chet
And
Holmgren.
then Chet gets embarrassed right away. Well, I deserve that.
Yeah, he stinks. He does. You can't disappear during the playoffs. It's the same thing you were clowning Jalen Duren about.
Yeah, he
It's
can't
true.
disappear.
You can't disappear.
Yeah, what do you have, 8?
He got blocked by a 6'5" dude
Yeah.
Devin Vassell blocked him on a dunk. You're 7'1"
in overtime.
in OT. I get we're tired. We're all tired. I'm tired. You're tired right now. Jump up and dunk the ball. Chet.
How old's my kid? I've been tired for almost 9 years.
Chet, 7 feet tall, 2 of 7 shooting. He only made 3s in this game.
He only took 7 shots.
Yeah.
And usually don't be selfish and take a ton of shots. But if you're the second best player on a playoff team, you can't just clock out.
Correct.
I think you make another good point. Make them adjust to you.
Yeah.
Chet, in theory, is also huge and good. So why isn't San Antonio adjusting to what he does?
I don't know if we're going to get a game as good as we saw in game 1. It's going to be hard to outdo that, but I do think the energy inside Oklahoma City is going to be great. 2 underrated aspects of these teams. Great crowds. Oklahoma City crowd, though, apparently they pump in their crowd noise, or at least used to, has a very dedicated fan base, and San Antonio shows up when their team's in the playoffs. So I think that adds a lot of energy to this game, and I'm sure we'll talk about it maybe next. Knicks also benefited extremely by Spike Lee and all the fans inside Madison Square Garden that were going nuts over those final 7 minutes, and Cleveland couldn't put an end to it.
It's funny. I'm seeing all these victory laps about the television ratings for Game 1 between the Spurs and the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
What do you bet me last night's game's ratings sucked? Oh, at least in comparison.
Oh, Donovan!
No. Having nothing to do with the product.
It was on ESPN. It's harder to get.
Yeah, you're telling me an over-the-air broadcast combined with a streaming partner
better.
Set records for viewers.
But if last night's game was on ABC,
then it
would have had
might
a
a
huge
huge rating.
Yeah.
So it's just funny to watch people take victory laps. Like, do you see? Do you see? It's like, well, yeah,
you gave it away.
you made it more available.
Yeah,
What a shock!
right.
If you didn't do better than it did before on cable, on TNT and ESPN, was even the NBA Finals, was that even over broadcast last when it was on ESPN last year? Was it on? Did they also do ABC?
I feel like at times.
There were years where it was only on cable TV.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe it's just like the Sunday game. Maybe it's just the weekend games that are on.
That they put on ABC as well.
But yes, game 1 during the conference finals until this year was not on NBC.
Was not on over-the-air
NBC didn't
TV.
have a deal, and I don't think ABC was bumping their regular content to get to sports.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, which maybe it's a good. Maybe you ought to.
No, it's really smart, and ESPN's doing that way more with ABC. Even though if you want to get deep into this is a different conversation. But the dish networks of the world and the cable, they're all losing their power because the reason ESPN didn't do that is because DirecTV and Dish Network said, hey, if you're putting all your good stuff on the over-the-air network, then what are we paying for?
Right.
And I think it was, I want to say 2 years. Really, this evolved with Monday Night Football, where they started putting more and more Monday Night Football games also on ABC. And the cable providers and everything started howling, and ESPN said,
Fine.
Shut up,
Yeah,
and we're just going to do it anyway. Yeah. And it's been going more and more and more and more, and now they're doing it with the NBA. But don't believe the victory lap. Wow, the NBA is more popular than ever. It's like, well.
Just put it in front of more people. Yeah.
You know, it's like our good friends at Beehive Meals have now opened up their services to the entire country and even internationally, and their numbers go up. Well, yeah, you made it available to a lot more people.
I've eaten more samples at Costco than I have bought the different food products. Why?
There's more available.
Samples are free.
Free and out there.
Right there.
And some nice, middle-aged lady is handing it to me in a nice, like little cup.
But yes, the second I have to spend money to buy it,
I'm not going to do it.
There's a hurdle.
Now that tasty pizza bite isn't
quite as tasty.
Quite as tasty. Yeah. Tonight, by the way, going to be on NBC again and Peacock. In fact, the entire Western Conference Finals is on NBC, and then the Mouse has the East. I'd rather have the West.
Same.
Oh, boy.
Good. Take that, Mickey. Put your games on ABC.
Yeah, let me
you
watch.
Clown mouse.
Yeah. I mean, I watched last night, but make it easier to watch.
Yeah, but you had to pirate it from a neighbor.
Maybe.
Your brother?
No, I was just looking through the neighbor's window. What's happening? Don't change the channel. I know they're down 22, but anything could happen.
Bob, leave your curtains open. Come on, man. The mouse is killing me for the subscription package to get this. All right, more next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who save with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Just doing it big, you know.
Your home for the best sports radio for your afternoon drive is right here. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thank you for making us part of your day. Did you see Tony Petitti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, made some comments about how committed they are to a 2014 playoff, but then admitted that if the SEC doesn't agree immediately this year, that's okay too. It will remain at 12. Then he said, if we have to wait, it's okay. We'll wait. But basically admitted that the SEC is the one making the decision.
You nailed this from the very second it came out, that this only has to do with one thing. ESPN's ability to control the entire market.
Yep.
And the second they can't control the market, they're not going to like it.
Nope.
So if they can have 12 games and host them, or a 12-team playoff and host it, 10 thumbs up. They can do 4, 10 thumbs up. If they can get to 16, awesome. Glad to do it. The second they no longer have the room to host all these games, which allows somebody else into the negotiating table, they don't want it.
Nope.
That's not bad business. It's borderline criminal, but it's not bad business, and I understand why they're doing it.
Understand why the Mouse is doing it?
Yes. If you and I both want to buy a house, and you are at the table with the people selling it, and you're the only one in there, that's great. The second I come in and start saying, oh, well, what if I do this? What if I'm willing to do this? What if I'm willing to pay? That's bad for you. Right now, ESPN, the Mouse, is the only one at the table. That's good for them. There's no competition. There are people knocking on the door saying, we want to be competition. Let us. It might be good for you. And for whatever reason, college football playoff is saying, oh, no, we don't need that. We like the Mouse. So,
yeah, probably because the Mouse is putting money directly in their pocket.
Correct.
Bill Hancock is a rich man today because of making that decision. Now, listen, I'm not only cheering for it to stay at 12. I'd like it to go back to 4.
Contract.
I certainly don't want it at 24, so I guess I'm cheering for the Mouse in this circumstance. But the hard part about this discussion is, how do these greedy universities justify not going to 24? Because they are leaving money on the table by not going to 24. So how does that get justified? And the politics of it is pretty fascinating. Because the SEC just does not care about that extra money because they're 100% with ESPN. Fox desperately wants it to happen because they want access to it. So Tony Petitti, this isn't his opinion. This is Rupert Murdoch's opinion.
Yeah.
To go to 24. So, but I want to know, how do the universities justify leaving the money on the table?
Is it they don't want to see anybody else make more money? They control the money right now for themselves?
Who, though? Who make more money?
Well, ESPN makes more money and thus can conceivably put more money in the SEC's pocket? As opposed to the Big Ten getting richer?
See, the ESPN doesn't really stand... Well, how can I put this? ESPN just doesn't want to share.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't think it's a financial thing for them either. They just don't want Fox to be happy.
You've seen There Will Be Blood?
I have. Very slow movie.
Slow movie. Do you remember the scene? He's talking to his brother. He's had too much to drink. He's talking to his brother, Daniel Plainview, and he says, I have a competition in me. I want no one else to succeed. I hate most people. That might be what the SEC is doing.
I know.
Yeah, this might not be the best situation. Everyone being taken care of actually might be better for us. But we hate most people. We hate the Big Ten. We hate the ACC. We hate the Big 12. And I'm doing okay. So no, rising tides float all boats is not something we're interested in. I just want me to be okay. And right now, as long as I'm partners with ESPN, I'm okay. And I hate the Big Ten, and I don't want them to have the power, and I don't want them to have decision-making, because as soon as they do, they're going to start trying to tilt it in their favor.
I just hate that this is the energy behind reform. Like, you're reforming for the wrong reasons. And I believe that was always the case, but people like to ignore that and look at what's, quote-unquote, best for the sport. Like, 24, I think, would be a disaster for the sport. Mm-hmm. I do. Why is college football must-watch every Saturday? Because it's all on the line.
Games matter.
This is a huge game. Why is it a huge game? Well, because if LSU wins, they're going to be in title contention. But if Alabama wins, they'll be in title contention, and LSU will be out. I mean, it's the reason that it becomes appointment television.
We have a 65-team playoff already.
Right. Yeah.
Starts week 1. It's great. There's a lot on the line. And we've actually lessened it now because we don't care that much about non-conference games, because if you win your conference championship, you're in. So now those first 3 weeks of the season actually kind of don't matter that much. It helps, it's cool, but it doesn't matter that much.
Really at all.
And now, it actually doesn't matter that much if you lose to Texas Tech in the regular season. Why? You beat them in the conference championship game. And if you win that game, you're automatically in. So yeah, we've lessened the value of all of these games.
But people realize how crappy the 24th team in the country is, right? And how they usually have lost 3 to 4 games.
Texas Tech was the pride and joy of the Big 12 this year. How many points did they score in the college football playoff? 0. They could not score. And their 12 teams better than the 24th team. Yeah, what do we expect these games to look like? In all honesty, at that point, this is not Cinderella college basketball. There is a true gap, I believe, in college football between the top 8 teams, top 4 teams, and Team 24.
So it would be best if they actually did prioritize what's better for the sport, but that's not what anybody's interested in. Man, these universities selling out for this big dough is just ruined. It's just ruined everything. Honestly, I think I'm now rooting for the academy model. Just blow it all up and have the professional the professional franchises just recruit and sign players who are 12 and put them in school.
I'm totally with you. We have some NBA news.
Okay.
2 things quickly. De'Aaron Fox expected to miss his second consecutive contest
San Antonio's
tonight.
got a better shot.
San Antonio's up. San Antonio's going to win this game too, so good for them. Credit them. And then all NBA rookie teams have been released. First team, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Con Knipple, VJ Edgecombe, and Cedric Coward. Second team, Ace Bailey, Jeremiah Fears, Colin Murray Boyles, Maxime Reynaud, and Derek Queen. Ace left off the first team. I bet you he got the 6th most votes. That would be my guess. But beaten out by Cedric Coward. Those first 4 picks, Cooper, Dylan Harper, Con Knipple, VJ, were all locks.
Well, he didn't even make the Rising Stars Challenge, Ben. So
not on the first run.
Man, I really don't care. I really don't care about rookie seasons for the most part, let alone all rookie teams.
All rookie doesn't. I think Trey Burke made the all rookie team.
He was like 2nd in rookie of the year voting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't. And I mean, Locke brought this up yesterday. You know, talking about what was real with Ace. We don't even really know. Nothing with the Jazz was real last year, especially when Ace was actually playing, because that was when they were in full punt on the season mode.
Mm-hmm.
So good for him. I'm sure he's not going to turn it down, but I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. The slight of the not making the Rising Stars Challenge didn't mean anything. I don't think this means anything either.
Correct. In fact, I asked the Jazz about it. I asked Will Hardy about it, and I said, how do you feel about Ace Bailey not making the Rising Stars Challenge? And he said, what? And I said, do you feel like that was a priority? And he said, if it was a priority to get Ace Bailey in the Rising Stars Challenge, you would have been able to tell. Meaning, we would have let him go out there and shoot a whole bunch. He said, but what we actually care about is Ace Bailey being a better player at the end of the season than he was at the beginning. And I think the Jazz would tell you, the reason why I do not believe he will be involved in a trade to move up to number 1 to draft A.J. DeBonsa with the top overall pick, because the Jazz believe he got a lot better. The Jazz really believe in Ace Bailey. I think they really like him. So I don't think they're all that worried about him not making the all-rookie first team.
I agree.
In fact, he had a better rookie season than Keontae George. Ace did. Keontae made all-rookie team. He may have not had a better rookie season than Walker Kessler. Walker had a very good rookie year.
He did have a good
He also made all-rookie first team.
He had a bad second year.
Bad, yes, did not make the all-sophomore team.
Man, go Avalanche. So easy to dislike the Golden Knights.
Agreed. Oh, that was good for the playoffs locally. There's an enemy now.
Yeah, by the way, the puck going to drop on that series coming up, at the top of the hour?
Yeah.
You got to be, I mean, I got no love for the Avalanche, but you got to be rooting against Golden Knights, right?
After their shenanigans last week?
Dirty team.
And not having John Tortorella talk to the media, closing off the locker room entirely. Yeah, it's cool that the NHL fined them $100,000 and took away a second-round pick. Good for them.
They should take away their franchise.
So we will, good for the Jazz or whatever with Ace Bailey making the all-rookie second team. Again, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change contract stuff. If you win Rookie of the Year, or if you win certain All NBA, if you make All NBA certain amount of times, or Defensive Player of the Year, or MVP early enough in your.
Are you talking about the Supermax?
Early enough in your rookie deal, you can actually sign a bigger contract earlier. The Derrick Rose rule, right? He won an MVP in his third season or whatever, and they said, well, you shouldn't be held back to sign the contract as the same as the other players. That actually ends up being bad for some teams. It would be better for San Antonio if they could sign Wemby to an extension well below what he's going to make now that he's going to be on all NBA first teams and maybe win MVP next year. That's probably not good for the Spurs, to be honest with you.
Stay tuned. We will have more Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Thumbtack presents Tile Trouble. Every single time I use my sink, I make eye contact with the uneven grout on my kitchen backsplash. The crooked corners eye me, and I'm haunted by more tiling questions than I thought possible. What kind of pro can fix a backsplash? Can I replace one cracked tile, or should I replace them all? What if I just use Thumbtack? I can hire top-rated pros, read reviews, and compare prices with a tap, all on the app. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airwaves, talking sports. They got it made, Jake's and also loves his tie guy. Ben's got style with his scarf. Oh my.
What's up, guys? This one's for the Jake and Ben show. This is how you know a hot take is a real hot take. I haven't even completed the entire show as a listener from the future, but I had to take a moment to tell Ben what a bozo he is. Talladega Nights, which is a Will Ferrell film, is one of the greatest observational films of all time. As a sports fan and as Americans, we let a lot of stupid things slide, like F-16 flybys at football games, 4 hours of ads in a football game that lasts 4.5 hours, and the entire amateur college sports charade that we put up with. It's insane. But Talladega Nights, the absurdity of the movie is just like a mirror to our society that we've built, and it's hilarious to look at it from that lens. Anyway, you should rewatch it. Have a good one.
Ben, you're such a freaking bozo.
Next, Jake Scott will query AI prompts to see if the band Poison invented the phrase, "Every rose has its thorns." The answer again will be, no, Jake, no.
Jake and Ben, how could you forget Pirates of the Caribbean?
That was a good batch of Collins
Great.
today.
I don't think we've ever had a bad one, but those were particularly good.
Oh, man. Absolutely call in. Well, that's rule number 3 on the show. If you have something to say, call in. Use the call-in feature on the KSL Sports app and let us hear it. So shout out. First call in there was from Dakota. Second call in was from Greg. And the third there was from Zach. So shout out to all 3 of those guys. What did Dakota say that as a sports fan and as an American?
Yeah. You know what? I will give him the benefit of the doubt, and I will at some point rewatch Talladega Nights, because I had the same phenomenon he's talking about with Anchorman, which was I didn't think Anchorman was funny when I first saw it. And I remember Colin Cowherd saying, Anchorman is so funny because it's so accurate to the world. And I thought, no way, that's a cartoon character. And then you get into this business and you realize, oh no, Anchorman is so accurate, it's frightening. Now, there's no street fights among the news broadcast people, but some of the idiocy you run into is unimaginable. And that's where I thought Anchorman really started to get much funnier for me. So maybe Talladega Nights does hit harder.
You don't realize, and by the way, as somebody who is guilty of this, you don't realize how accurate the teleprompter thing is. That if you put it on there, Burgundy will read it.
He will read it.
If Christian writes it down here as a liner for me, I will read it.
We have to kind of be nice to Christian because he does have that power.
He could put "Go bleep yourself, San Diego" into a liner, and I would read it.
You would read it.
I would read it.
But your job, to be fair, is to read it. So I get it. Yeah.
Dangerous.
Oh, the sleaze bags? Yeah, just the absolute, how do you live with yourself? Yeah, it's a real thing.
The weatherman who has an IQ of 48?
Not here. In fact, I've really liked all of the weathermen I've met locally, but...
How many have you met?
Tons, yeah. Several. I've done stuff at all the different stations. I've made some stops in my life, so I've met a lot of the weathermen. And
we
women.
walked in the parade, Jake, next to several weather people.
No, I know the weather people in this building, but I've been in the media for 20 years, and I wouldn't say I know, I don't know Dan Pope.
Do you know Breck Bolton?
No.
Oh, Breck's great. Yeah.
Who's the one on Fox in the Morning? I saw him in a play with Austin Horton once.
Oh.
Damon Yanni.
Okay.
I never met him, but I watched him in a production of Guys and Dolls.
How was it?
It was good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. It was like a small community theater in Bountiful, Davis County, somewhere. But that was pretty good. But no, our guy Kevin Eubanks, awesome. Love that dude.
Of course.
But
Right.
he's like the only one I know though.
Okay.
I'm surprised you know all these weathermen.
Well, it's
slash
these two
women.
different jobs. I've done TV at some different spots and little hits here and there, and you just get to know people. I'm a man of the people. I try to be at least a man of the weather people.
I never met Kevin's old man.
No.
Mark. Legend, right?
Of course.
Okay.
I grew up here, yes.
But
Well,
so
always
I
a
don't know. I know that Kevin definitely has an IQ of over 48.
Yes, he does. Smart guy.
You didn't clarify that.
Well, allow me to clear.
You said all weather people. So
No, I did not.
I just wanted to make sure.
The sports guy with the cowboy hat, though, he comes from. That's definitely. I've met that guy.
Very real person.
I've met that person for sure.
Yep.
All right, stay tuned. 6 o'clock hour action pack coming up next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.